Well, welcome everyone to week 13. The season's almost done. We have 13 drivers in week 13. Hip hip hooray. Starting from the top left, the 7.7s is 7. Hopefully he fixed some of his wheel issues. Lucid Cardiac's Lucid, Vivoda's Vivoda, Cloud City is Cloud, MK7 Hitch is Hitch, Anime Boy is Anime, Forever Slick is Josh. Welcome back. Goatly is Goat. I don't even know if he won last week. I don't know if the penalty got taken off or not. I'll have to look. The Yuppie is Yuppie. Matt Man is Matt. Fate is Fate. Dismal Games Dismal. And Kryptonic Swang is Kryptonic. We'll go on board with Josh. And we will also look at what happened in the steward's room last week. Goat does get his win reinstated. Wins by under a second. Fate P3 and Nerf P4, reserving for Haas. Kryptonic and Hitch 5 and 6. In the standings, 77-point gap between Alpine and McLaren. That could be almost clinching distance. What? Are we just drive the old layout? Were we just on board for the old layout of Spain? What happened? Okay, on board with Anime first. But Hitch is up 74 points. Still not enough to clinch, but might be able to clinch it today. 74 points. If he leads by 83, which would be outscoring Kryptonic by 11 points. Oh, sorry, by 9 points. So if Hitch can outscore Kryptonic by 9 points, he's the driver's champion, which would mean a win compared to Kryptonic in third. So we will see possibly title clinching scenario. If we attempt it for the constructors and do some math. There's still so many points on the board. I don't think it's going to be clinched, but I'll have to do some more math. The remaining races, there will be definitely not enough. 129 plus the sprint. So they would need to win by nearly 70 more, which is impossible today. Anime was provisional pole for a little bit, and then Kryptonic beat him by 4 seconds. Sweet. Cloud P1 and Matt coming in P3 with a 26.2. I can go off the onboard. Everyone on the intermediate tires. Dismal behind his teammate, but a 1.3 margin. I'm sure someone will slot in between them. Looks like the rain might be lightening up here. A very light rain, so the track might be getting a lot faster. Lucid looks like he's struggling with the car as Fate goes provisional pole by just a tenth. Oh, drifting is lucid here. This will be a banker lap. Don't think he's going to be able to recover from that Tokyo drift, but it is a valid lap, so I assume that you take it. Drifting through that long left-hander. You want to open the car up and get to the outside of the track, but it is a tough corner. Oh, and holds it in the track limits and goes P3. Nice banker, but I think the track is getting better. We have a retirement. Not sure what happened. Looks like Josh just retired on track. Didn't seem like a collision. Didn't seem like there was damage. Fate improving. And Goat almost dethroning him immediately after his lap, but is only 300ths behind. Cloud up on his lap, but it's going to need a bit more time. And he's finding that time. Just needs a 10th in Sector 3. Needs to improve by 6/10. Hitch comes in 4th. Again, Hitch is the driver's champion. If he can win and outscore Kryptonic by 9 points. Cloud, provisional pole. It's going to be harder to not score points than to score points today with only 13 drivers. Every DNF could, or really every incident could majorly impact the session. Looks like 7 is looking much better, even though it is still raining like it was in Singapore. Fixing some settings and also just getting used to the wheel. Looks like he is much more comfortable driving the car this week. And invalidates at the end of the lap. Maybe invalidated both laps, but we'll see. Will the track light back up? It doesn't appear to be doing so. Yuppie looking to improve. Does P7. Fate going into the pits. Second place to Cloud right now. Only a 10th. It might be the case of whoever gets the last lap is the best off here, as the rain is very lightly coming down as it has this entire session. Josh has left the session now. Goat is 2/10 down, which would be enough for a provisional pole if he can just bring that drop to the line. But we'll see if he can hang on to it through Sector 3. He does. And that's provisional pole by 3/10. Hitch way off his time. Vivoda just up, Yuppie up quite a bit. Matt invalidated, 7 is way up. Anime is dropping, the only one in the field, but he's going to need to drop plenty of time. 2.5 even isn't enough there. And we will see what he can do. We've got about 7.5 minutes to go. Anime to the line. Does drop quite a bit of time. Still 1.2 off his teammate, who is 7/10 off Matt. 7 is dropping time. Massive improvements here from this week to last. So good on 7 for getting some practice in and getting a little more ready for today, even though he said rain would be less than ideal. Looks like he is taking the challenge on. Might find himself up a spot here. If he can hang on to it through Sector 3, keep it valid. He does that. And he is not going to gain a place, but he's only 400ths away. Kryptonic looks to have just improved, but not enough for provisional pole. 9,000, no. 2.5 hundredths off Cloud. Fate also right behind with his teammate Hitch. Looking to close out the season tonight. No Haas or Red Bull. That would get us to 17. And 1 Mercedes, 1 Aston Martin. That'll get us to 19 as Goat improves by quite a bit. Looks like the rain is maybe close to quitting, but we'll see. Drivers finding some more grip. Kryptonic into the pits, might be maybe trying to get a slick lap for the end of this session. Fate improves, only 4/10 between him and Goat. Matt all the way up into 5th. 7 was almost getting by him in qualifying, but he shot himself up. Dismal with an improvement finds him 3rd. Lucid into 2nd. Everyone is improving. Vivoda on his outlap, trying to get a feel for the track. Let's go on board with Vivoda as he tries to climb out from P10. Oh. Looks like there's a mistake on this lap. Rain still is coming down here. Yeah, Vivoda up almost a full second. Fate looks to have taken P2 back. At least I'm pretty sure. It's down in 8th. Ferrari and Williams right down next to each other in the bottom 4. Let's see if Voda can improve. Just cannot find the rear on this car. Looks like it just wants to step out every time he's trying to turn and get through a corner. It just looks like it wants to step out on him. Yeah, tried to get the power down and short shift and almost lost the car there, lucky to not. Fighting this car around the lap, willing it down 8.5 tenths. That's not even going to be enough for a position right now. With the way that the track evolution is happening, I don't know what you'd want to call that. Fate has retired from the session in P2, Hitch in P3. Voda does jump his teammate. Hitch is down about 2 tenths. And the track looks extremely dry right now. Slicks could be the call if they enable DRS again. I mean, the track looks dry. Hitch sliding, so maybe proving that it isn't. Did anyone go out and try the soft tires? Cloud has them fitted. I don't know if he's going to be able to get back out in time. I don't... Yeah, no. 16 seconds to go. He's in the pits. The pole lap will be set on intermediates. And we will see who can be the one basically to come across last. The session has ended. Hitch is going to be across the line first. Matt, P5 and Hitch invalidates. Stays P3 for now, but invalidated and was down 5 tenths. That would have been enough for provisional pole. Goat behind improving. And Goat, yes, going to set a quicker lap for provisional pole. Lucid is down 6 tenths. He needs a little bit more time in the final sector, and looks like he lost the car out of the final corner. But he still goes provisional pole. I mean, it would be very unlikely if someone was able to snipe this one down. But the first driver in the 21s at the very end of the session. Kryptonic in P8 as well goes into the pits. And Dismal is on not a fast lap. The Williams brothers are not either. And that'll be it for the session. Lucid on pole, followed by Goat and Fate, with Hitch in P4 as 7 drives straight into the gravel. If he could be so polite as to just cross the finish line versus pitting, he would be so awesome. Dives into the pits. And yep. And there it is. That is your session. Kryptonic all the way down into 8th. If this order was to finish the way it would, Kryptonic would still be in contention. Would have a 1-point buffer and would need Hitch to DNF every single race. But always room for improvement for both these drivers. Kryptonic could not improve his lap. Don't know if it was invalidations or not. But he had had the same lap time for a couple laps in a row. And that was it. The gap's quite large, as you can see. If there was not a lap being done towards the end of the session, then you fell off the face of the earth. You can see everyone without scrolling. How great is that? But yeah, only the top 4 within a second of each other. Lucid able to put in a monster lap to take provisional pole. What a dog. I don't necessarily have much to say at this point. We're just waiting on drivers to ready up. I think we've gone through a couple rough patches this season, but I do think with attendance, I think we've gotten through the thick of it. So hopefully we can have a bunch of new recruits and hopefully get the grid full for this next season. But who knows? You never really know what to expect. We always have 20 drivers sign up at the start of the season, but a lot of them, life takes priority over Wednesday night F1 racing, so jobs change or whatever the reason is, and some people can't end up making the races anymore, so we've always been a Wednesday night league. I've said this too. A lot of people want the different tiers on different nights, but for one, it's just going to make the deadlines all terrible with stewards. I mean, there's different stewarding crews, but we're going to have reports all week. We're going to have standings coming out at random times instead of just kind of uniform. This is the day we've got to do it. This is the day results are posted, stuff like that. So, and I always say too, when leagues go to multiple days, it's kind of like a monopoly. So it's like you never have to leave the one league if they race on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you're racing basically in 4 different leagues while you're still in the same community. So we value our community and we value, our Wednesday night races, and obviously we'd lose a lot of people if we switch days, but we also want people to enjoy other leagues on different nights, and I'm sure many of the drivers in Tier 1 are racing elsewhere, just for fun or whatever they do, whether this is their main league or whether, they're practicing more for another league. We're grateful for everyone on the Can-Am grid, and we hope that our drivers can be involved in the community as much as they'd like. That is the goal. I'm honestly surprised that we haven't readied since Goat has been back. He's the one usually dying to ready up. But you would rather have too much time than not enough time. So We've always been quite lucky with the Tier 1 drivers, kind of waiting for, me to message to ready up, even though sometimes I either forget or I just think they're going to ready up on their own. But here we go. The tires for everyone, mediums in Vivoda and Josh on the soft tires. We'll throw up the positions changed. We'll throw up the lap time. And we will have at after this formation lap. The last chance for Kryptonic to try and fight back for the Drivers' Championship, but it would be an ultimately 90-degree uphill battle. Fate with a chance, or not Fate, jeez. Hitch, oh! That's Fate into the grass. Hitch with a chance to clinch. Gonna have to find a way past his teammate first. We'll see how easy or hard that is for him. And people are hitting each other. 4 drivers teleported to the grid. This is going to be chaos. Spain always is. Spain is one of my favorite tracks on the calendar to drive, to watch. It feels like it's got a little bit of everything in the circuit. It's got a shorter DRS zone. It's got a longer DRS zone. It's got some, some corners that you got to brake hard into. It's a narrow, skillful track. There's a couple corners that can trick you up. Just provides good racing, in my opinion, but we will see whether or not that's true in F1 25, as everyone is just tries to stay in that DRS train. Seems like that's the way to go. 5 red lights, and we're underway here in Barcelona. Looks like Lucid gets a good start. The Alpine pair are going to be right next to each other. And now Fate pulls ahead, but doesn't have the inside, and we get through turn 1 as Matt and Hitch going at it. And, oh my goodness, someone off into the gravel slightly. The top 4 get through. Kryptonic's already up to P5, so beating him by 9 now gets a little tougher when he's up 3 spots from the start. Dismal down 2. Yuppie up 4. And Matt all the way down in 13th, down 8 spots. He's the one who was involved in an incident. One of his highest qualifyings. And very short-lived, as Vivoda down 11th, now 12th. He's in an incident of his own. Gets it back moving, and now is down 3 spots. As Josh is up 3. And there are your race strategies: medium, soft, medium, or soft, soft, medium. Not sure I would have expected that, but Kryptonic goes flying off into the gravel. Seems to be okay. Is Cloud going to try and move? Hitch gets by his teammate, but Cloud does not try anything on Kryptonic so far. Doesn't appear to be a big gap in the field yet, as Josh passes Anime. And I guess there's the gap, as Goat and Lucid side by side. Now Lucid on the inside. There's a little bit of contact. But Goat with the exit speed, and this is suicide if they take this side by side, and Lucid gets right in behind. He does have to downshift. Now has DRS. Is he going to send a move? No. The two Alpines are ready to get by, as there is quite the battle brewing here at the front of the grid. A little bit of battling everywhere in the field. The top 8 still in DRS. Now that's trying to be broken, but we'll see. As Lucid getting closer and closer, goes around the outside. Hitch on the brakes early. There's contact. Lucid is forced completely off the track and now punted away. Oh, and there goes Hitch. Oh, and there goes Goat. Oh my goodness. Lucid at the front of the grid, and they're 3 wide now in the back. Holy, is the 2 leaders, the second and third place, now get shuffled down the field. Hitch all the way in 11th, and then Goat in 3rd. Goat getting the far not as bad version, and here we go. Fate getting driven straight off the track into the gravel, and then spins trying to get back on. And there goes Fate, as we have a little bit of Verstappen driving school going on at the front, as Lucid just locks wheels and just drives Fate straight into the gravel. Goat going aggressive on the defense of the lead, as Kryptonic is behind. Locks up, but Kryptonic maybe a little bit of a dummy. And yeah, this is exactly what Kryptonic needs basically for the remainder of the season if he wants to become Drivers' Champion. And he probably needs to win this race as well. Gotten some help from the Mercedes driver of Lucid, who did his best Ben Russell impression there. That was quite the 2 laps, and we've still got 30 to go here. I don't know if it will be more interesting than what just happened. Fate, it's saying that he's up 9 spots, but that's impossible. Kryptonic thinking about the middle, or thinking about the inside, but doesn't find a gap. And Hitch making his way back up the field now, but now has a 3-second gap to get to Josh. Basically, the bottom couple drivers have all been involved in incidents in some way. The DRS train at the top is still 6 drivers. Ben Russell still in DRS somehow. Not sure how he was able to navigate it back on track. Obviously, a little bit better than Fate since he full-on spun. Is this going to be the lap where Kryptonic gets the move done? And he is following extremely close to Goat. Goat pulls away on the last corner. Let's see if Kryptonic can catch up, and he is absolutely flying down the front straight as Hitch goes into the pits. And Kryptonic, well, had the move and then got punted through. Excellent racecraft at the front of the field here. Kryptonic takes the lead, and now the two known terrorists are in 5th and 6th. Goat looking for a place to move on Dismal. I mean, Goat was so close to Dismal there. And now Lucid gets a better exit. I'm not sure what is going on between these two drivers. There's more contact. Here we go through Sector 3 side by side. Lucid trying to hang around the outside. Tries to justify enough space. And gets shoved off into the gravel. Oh my goodness. What are we witnessing here? What are we witnessing? This is absolute mayhem. As you can see, Josh just in the distance. He might be able to pass a couple of these drivers if they keep racing like what they are. We missed Cloud getting an overtake on Kryptonic, but I assume it was just down the front straight. It wasn't probably due to someone getting punted off the track. Straight into the gravel here. But I feel like Lucid may... I mean, I don't know if he has the right to just think, oh, I've had enough of this and, you know, punt someone straight off the track. Because I'm sure that people are feeling the same way about him. I mean, Yuppie finds himself P3 and like, he hasn't even been involved in any battle. He's just been netting the places that are just being given right now. He's trying to hang on to DRS from Kryptonic, not to discredit Yuppie as he goes off the track. He's hanging in DRS here. Dismal right behind, and he might lose this position as Dismal is almost max revs. Oh, and a little bit of contact there, but is okay. Kryptonic gets the lead back. Terrorist 1 and 2, and 5th and 6th here, catching back up to the field. Ravoda pits as well, and I mean, we might see a safety car at this rate. Hits the fastest lap, but down into 12th. He's going to have quite the race in front of him. He is hanging on a prayer. Needs a safety car to catch back up to this field. Not saying that he can, obviously. Yeah, Goat looked for a non-existent gap, and I don't know if there was contact or not, but there was not really any place to go, as we have a caution in Sector 2. Not sure what's happening. Looks like the drivers got going again. And let's see, no terrorism moves, and everyone's fanned out in the top 6. No other battles throughout the field. No one in DRS right now, other than these top 6, which have proven to be quite entertaining. As 7 goes into the pits. We can throw on something other than position change. The top 6 all on the medium tire. Josh is on the softs. Probably needs to get rid of those soon if I had to guess. And Vivoda and 7 going on the hard tires. So Amazon didn't predict that one. But we will see what these top 6 drivers do. No one has yet to make a strategy call. We have another caution in Sector 2. Looks like it may have been Hitch. It's 12 seconds behind Anime. Yuppie barely hanging into DRS here. As yes, thank you Nightbot. Check out Bucko stream. In Tier 2, it might say Ago stream in Tier 3, but it sounds like we do not have one. Cloud doesn't get the move done. We don't see it in our screen. Yuppie kind of looks lonely in this close train, but still in DRS and still giving Dismal DRS. Just no one is in the frame. Top 2 drivers duking it out. This Fate gets by Josh, who I assume his soft tires are absolutely cooked at this stage. And yeah, I mean, he's going to drop out of the DRS nearly. And Yuppie may have finally lost his DRS, as the gap is starting to open up, and now the trains are going to split between the top two and then the rest of the four. And we'll see if Fate can catch up to him. I have no idea if he will or will not. Cloud drives himself off the track, but doesn't have any penalties yet. And yeah, the first time Yuppie doesn't have DRS, and he's getting absolutely eaten alive here as Goat makes the move and puts a car between himself and Lucid. How's Lucid gonna make this move? Oh! I thought there was gonna be contact there. There's not. And is there gonna be some kind of aggressive dive bomb? No, there's not. Oh, maybe has some room up the inside, but Yuppie gets a good enough exit. Lucid takes a lot of that curb. Surprised that it didn't just spit him out. Yuppie snaps a bit, but still has the DRS. So Lucid not going to be able to attack fully yet, and now Dismal's going to be vulnerable to Goat. Oh, and Lucid sees a gap, goes for it around the outside here, trying to get the grip. It's still side by side. And now, yeah, Yuppie has to cede. Lucid nearly drives himself off into the gravel. And we continue. Without losing DRS, it appears, yeah. Goat getting by Dismal and a pass for the lead. As Cloud gets by Kryptonic, and will Goat be able to bridge these DRS trains? Not sure. Josh does pit off. The soft tires. Is he a real driver is the question. No. Okay. So, Josh is disqualified. Sorry if I was supposed to invite him back. Not sure what happened. But we have 12 drivers today. 12 drivers still racing, at least. Goat trying to catch up to the leaders. Hitch only scoring 1 point right now. Still plenty of racing to go. They're on different schedules. Pizza. Tier 3 will come up if you type a couple more messages or wait a little longer. I can't remember what I put on. You distracted me. I was trying to get the pit stops. The last couple are the only ones to pit. Get it off my screen. The leaders are flipping again. Nothing we're not used to in this race. We've seen drivers getting pit maneuvered. So, changes for the lead are the most tame thing. Oh, and Cloud up the inside. I love this view. I love this director cut. It's practically the same thing except worse. It's offset cockpit cam. That's terrible. Oh, and yeah, hitting the sausage curb within the curb there. And Goat is rapidly approaching here. 1.6 was 2 seconds. Dismal hanging in the DRS, kind of like Yuppie was before. Yuppie now falling off a cliff. 2.5 seconds back after he held on to third for as long as he could. Back into 6th place as Hitch makes up another position. Goat is the first driver out of the stop bunch to pit. What tire does he choose to throw on here as Cloud goes around the outside? Another swap for the lead. Goat is going for the one stop on the hard tires. We'll see how that works out for him. The safety car now would kill Goat's race. And he still comes out comfortably ahead of Hitch. 3 seconds the gap, and Hitch will be on the worst tires. So that incident really going to cost Hitch pretty much his entire race. I'm sure the stewards will have something to say. I'm sure there'll be plenty of reports from what transpired on laps 3 and 4. I could not have predicted that. Cloud dives into the pits. Kryptonic dives in behind him. And they come in together as Dismal stays out. Lucid also in. Yuppie staying out. Fate staying out. What? I thought 7 was in the gravel when we went to him. So Dismal push, trying the overcut, which never works in this game at least. Hypothetically, it should work for something, but it does not. So we will see. Obviously, his teammate given the priority being first or second in this race. Now, Goat between Cloud and Kryptonic. How was there so much of a gap? Big gap opened up between Cloud and Kryptonic, who were battling for the lead, came into the pits together, and all of a sudden are now 2.2 seconds away as Dismal runs into the pits. Oh, and has a little bit of trouble slowing down. I don't know if he has damage. Doesn't look like it. If he does, they're not replacing it. So the top 3 pit. Where are they going to come out? Dismal right at the end of the pit lane, getting passed by the top couple drivers. And coming out should be right around Hitch. Right in front of Hitch. Everyone going for the one-stop strategy. Obviously, Hitch on a little bit of a different strategy since he had some wing damage he had to pit off and was also obliterated in the first part of this race. We are just about halfway through. And Kryptonic looks to be denying Hitch of his driver's championship tonight, but there could be a safety car here. You never know, but the field spread is a lot better than what it was in Singapore currently. So that is a positive. Seven is not being lapped 4 times. All right, let's go back up to Terrorist 1. See what he has cooking up. I'm sure going to try a move here on Cloud sooner or later. But the top 4 are very close. I'm sure Cloud will be under attack by just not having that DRS advantage, which will be gone not next season of Can-Am, but next season of real life. But honestly, this Can-Am race has been almost more entertaining than real life. Usually that's the way it goes because we're not paying millions of dollars to actually repair the car. And here goes Goat, leading the chase on for the lead, gaining little by little here. Cloud gives him the inside. There's a bit of contact, not too much. So stay side by side here. Kryptonic right there. Thinks better of the move. He's seen what Goat has done before. And we have caution in Sector 1, one of the Ferraris. That's Yuppie. Well, the Ferraris had a moment. Lost some time, but gone up and kept moving as Lucid gets a 3-second time penalty. The only driver on the grid to be penalized so far. Everyone has DRS here in the top 4. Dismal falling off the pace without that DRS, now 3 seconds back. Fate behind him, 7 seconds back after a great qualifying. And Hitch, after his what should be final stop, is down into 10th place. Kryptonic really needs to do whatever he can to try and win this race. This might be the last chance he has at making up ground on his title rival. The title fight might be over very soon. And remember, Josh in P8 is going to be a disqualification. He is a ghost driver, but he still has to pit again, so I think it won't necessarily matter in the grand scheme of things, but if he is in a point scoring position, the driver in 11th will be scoring 1 point. We've been on board with Goat for the past lap. I haven't seen him get ahead of Cloud yet, but he is gaining a bit. And here we go, late move to the inside, side by side again, pushing Cloud off the track. Yep, excuse me. And that opens up a gap for Kryptonic to get through. And now, oh, okay. Cloud gives Lucid the space. Okay, maybe a little bit of contact there, but Lucid actually getting the move done. Maybe Cloud playing the long game here, to not be taken out fighting for a move at corners that you don't normally see drivers fighting in, especially Lucid with that penalty. These top 4 are packed in here. Everyone fighting for every little bit of time. So we see Kryptonic on the attack. Don't know if he's going to be able to get close enough. And as I say that, there he goes. But he's seen what Goat has been doing through the first couple turns. Does not go for a move, at least yet. Knows that he probably needs to try and clear Goat, or at least have his nose in front going into that turn, or else he might not get a lot of space going into turn 2, especially down the inside or around the outside of turn 1. Kryptonic right behind Goat, coming through Sector 3. Looking for better exits. Looks like they're about equal here. Coming through the last corner, and Kryptonic gets a 3-second time penalty. Not good for him. So him and Lucid in the top 4 do have 3-second time penalties. So we see Matt getting by Vivoda. For what will technically be 9th place. Sooner or later, AI Josh will trot into the pits. Throw on the medium tire and probably funnel close to last. Well, now 7 is pitting, so won't be last. We have caution in Sector 1 as Goat and Kryptonic fighting here at the top. And now Lucid bump drafting Kryptonic through that corner. These top 4 drivers absolutely going at it, and Dismal rapidly approaching here. It was 2.9, almost 3 seconds. And now all of a sudden it's almost DRS range as Kryptonic does make the move, is alongside. Can't make it stick though through the first corner, and Goat hangs on to the lead for now. But obviously has the net lead either way. Whether he gives up the position or not, Cloud is really net P2. Dismal fighting his way back and is able to get himself within DRS range. 10 laps to go. Could be an interesting one for the McLaren team, who again are not out of the constructors by any means, and they both are trying to pile on the points as they lead the Alpine team, both drivers. So gain a couple points back right now, but a 1-2 would be lovely. So you talk about a McLaren 1-2, I'm sure certain teams would love 1 or 2 drivers to show up to the grid. Wonder who I could be talking about. Dismal still a little ways away. 8.5 tenths. It's been actually quite a while since we've actually seen a driver win the Constructors on top of winning the Drivers' Champion. And we could finally have them align with Hitch winning the Drivers and Alpine taking home the Constructors, both in the lead right now. But we have to see how this plays out, and obviously the gap will shrink a bit with the way this race is playing out. Goat defending his position. Kryptonic not finding a way through. And there is the Williams team. Anime in 13th, 7 in front of him down the road. Might just be able to give the leader some DRS, but we will see what happens. That might be the exact timing that Goat would need to have some DRS down the front straight. Close, but doesn't like close enough, really. No DRS, but almost breaking out of DRS from Kryptonic. But Kryptonic is well back within range. Which gets by Yuppie for P7. Slowly making up positions. His teammates slow down. 11 seconds to possibly get him a couple more points in the drivers. Keep the points the same for the constructor. We will see. Don't know who is on comms with their teammate each night and who is not. Williams driver pulling aside. I think gave Goat some DRS, so he's able to stay ahead. Only got 6 more laps here to go. It's been quite the session today. Quite the racing at the front of the grid, and no safety cars. Usually we have one to maybe spice things up or catch the field up, but today no such thing so far. Next couple laps we'd have an opportunity for one, and that would definitely make the race interesting with the way that these top 4 have driven today. We'll see if a Williams driver decides to shack it into the wall. Call it a night. I think they've came long enough to finish this race. Possibly waiting out to see if they can snag a point or two if we do see an incident in the race that does not include them. Cloud out of the DRS now of Lucid, so he's going to be susceptible to Dismal. Neither driver really able to contend or really fight for a podium so far. The important part is they're still both around. Just need to be around the DRS range, and it looks like Cloud is going to get it. He opens his DRS, so does Dismal. And Kryptonic once again going to look for a move through the main straight into turn 1. We've done it over and over and over. Has not worked out and is not going to work out this time. The Williams driver once again, I'm pretty sure, giving Goat DRS. What is this collusion? 4 laps to go here. Williams not giving up the position with the lead. I don't know where this pace came from all of a sudden. Oh, there it goes. Seven losing the car, trying to keep up with the leaders, and honestly did a pretty decent job. And then lost it, so might be a glimpse into the future for 7 if he's able to get consistent. what he's able to do on the wheel, as well as what he's able to do with no assists. Even if today is not ideal result for him, still will have a long off season to hone his skills. Kryptonic goes the long way around, fighting for a spot on the track and just not able to get it through turn 2 with enough speed to carry through, as Goat is going to try his best to keep forcing him around the outside and almost losing the car there. Lucid behind, not going to do anything right now. McLaren pair now shrunk their gap. We're out of DRS at one time and now have put the gap pretty much around where it was. There's a caution in Sector 2. Looks okay now. There's another caution. A Ferrari is around, it appears. That looks to be Vivoda. He trots into the pits just to avoid the leaders here. It's not going to give Go DRS. Vivoda gives himself a 10-second speeding penalty. This battle for the lead is ongoing. Really a battle for every position in the top 5 up for grabs. And Lucid just slammed a board out that was off the track, and Cloud says thank you for 3rd. Oh, and Lucid's still a little shaky. Keeps the position from Dismal. I was going to say there's a 6 car in the mix, but that is not Fate, so this doesn't appear to be for position. And here we go, Kryptonic. 2 laps left to try and get this move done. He's been trying to get this move done for about 15 laps, looking for the inside, doesn't find it. Goat so unbothered at all the dummies Kryptonic has thrown. Just not driving in his mirrors too much. No one else in the field necessarily close to each other for position. Just these top 5 drivers, and they are coming through to start the final lap. Kryptonic gonna give it one more go down the front straight. What can he do? Has he been setting up the final lap move for the whole race? Or is it gonna be like all the other laps and just be unsuccessful? Down the inside, Foley clears Goat. Goat looking to fight back. Doesn't appear to have the line, and yeah, falters a bit. Still hangs on to 2nd. Kryptonic does have that 3-second time penalty, so really the battle for the lead is happening right behind him. Unless there is a big collision, which is not out of the cards. That was the big overtaking zone. Other than the flip for the lead, which net won't change the result. unless a time penalty is appealed. We will see them round the final sector here. Kryptonic is going to lead them to the line, but after penalties is going to drop a couple positions. Goat's going to take the win. Cloud P2 and Dismal P3, a double podium for McLaren. Kryptonic in P4, Lucid P5. Fate takes P6. Hitch recovers to P7. Majority of this race he was driving by himself. The Ferraris finishing next to each other, but a couple positions away. Yuppie takes 8th and Vivoda in 12th, technically. Matt in 9th, maybe trying to get Vivoda on time penalties, but I don't know if he has that in him. No. And now Josh DNFs as we just go into far chase cam. Maybe that was near chase. Goat wins the race. Cloud P2, Dismal P3. See if any track limit penalties are appealed. We will grab the race director for that. Does Kryptonic only have one extra warning? Looks like he may have gotten a double warning here on lap 21. So, will there be an appeal and possibly the second win in a row because of penalties, because of a penalty being lifted? That'd be quite the storyline, but McLaren and Kryptonic fighting back, trying to keep this a title fight, but next week it's going to be tough. There's the sprint race, the most points available for the remainder of the season, and it could very well be done after next week in Australia. So, I'll cut this one short. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you next week for the final sprint of the season in week 14. Only have 3 more weeks left of the current season, and then we will be, Real Life F1 has the summer break. We more have the winter break, where we'll give everyone some time off to enjoy Thanksgiving, to enjoy Christmas, or whatever you celebrate. Obviously, Canadian Thanksgiving was this past week. And yeah, we will get through all the holidays and start up the season probably sometime in January. But I think it is a different aspect of the league to be able to take some time off. A lot of leagues run season after season after season, and I think people just get so burnt out. So build some anticipation, and people are ready to come back. So again, thank you all for watching, and hope that you tune in next week for the last sprint of the season in Australia, and possibly a title-clinching race for Hitch and his Alpine team. Might clinch both titles next week, but we will see. So hopefully you will join along as well. But for now, have a good night, or have a good morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this replay, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube. We appreciate the support and hope to see you next week.